you're laying back, send a couple of good breaths through your body, huge inhales. Nice relaxing exhales. Feel the body just relax into the fabric. It's like a big hug. You're receiving the chance here to be present, to be all together. Nice inhales and exhales. So in my classes, I like to start off with an intention. This helps to connect us, all parts of us, together. It gives our mind and our body something to focus on together. It's like a big goal for all of us. And so the idea that I was thinking of today, as we're heading into this beautiful month of Thanksgiving, the month of gratitude, the idea that I was playing with is the idea of abundance. So often we get set into this mindset that so much of our life is lacking. When we look around, there's so much that's wrong and that we want to change and we want to be different. And that's okay. Sometimes it's good to have those things that kind of rub us a little bit like an oyster with its pearl. That's okay. That's what creates change. It's what creates beauty. But sometimes when we're so much in all that's wrong, when we're in that frequency, we keep on seeing that which is wrong, keep on repeating like a fractal over and over and over again, and it's kind of annoying. And so today we're focusing on the abundance, all that we do have. And by receiving that abundance, we recognize, wow, I really am taken care of. Especially in some of the things, the root chakra ideas like safety, security, money, things like that. It's like I really do have, at least decent amount. I have enough to live off of. And I have this sense of trust that heading on, the universe will continue to take care of me. So that's the idea that we're focusing on today. There's going to be a couple of points in our class that we're going to create a little hand mudra thing that just reminds us of abundance. And so we'll make it here for the first time. It's okay if you can't see me. The idea is just holding your hands out in front of you like you're trying to collect water. So you kind of cup your hands so that you could hold a liquid. And it's okay, whatever direction it's tilted. Just imagine that for a moment, you've got abundance of the universe trickling into your hands, and all you have to do is hold your hands out and collect it. So just take 2 or 3 good breaths, just receiving this abundance. Another huge inhale, relaxing exhale. And the couple of times that we return to this hand position throughout class, just let it be a reminder that, wow, life is abundant. There's so much good already, and I can be grateful for that. So from here, let's start off some initial stretches for our body. Let's begin to extend the arms all the way to the back wall. And from there, let's allow shoulders to wiggle a little bit to the right. And shoulders a little bit to the left. Take it a couple of times to each direction. Your front row close to back row, just kind of note your fingers might have to be a little bit different, but just take a couple of these and feel how it opens up shoulders and side ribs. Good. Returning the spine back through the center. Your right knee comes into the chest, hands hug around that right knee. Sometimes we'll even do some right ankle rolls, get some of the tightness out of there. Good, and let's start to move up to hamstring. This right leg straightens up to sky. Hands slide up the back side of the leg wherever you can reach. Some might be thigh, some might be calf, some might be foot. And just feel like we're opening up channels and pipes to abundance. And if it feels like there's leaky spots where it's like, that's where I'm losing my energy, that's where it feels like I'm definitely not abundant, imagine that this is a slow, gentle chance to kind of reset the pipes a little. Take one more inhale. A nice exhale. And then you're hooking this right foot on the back left. So it's like a pigeon pose, just laying on our back. If you're confused, you can peek at others, but right foot hooked on back left. Slide the shin in. You can start to feel that hip open up nicely. So first chance to check in with that hip. Maybe there's pipes there that are a little tight. Imagine this is a chance to repair it and then let that abundance. I imagine it kind of like a water just raining down on us. Let that abundance trickle down and even through our pipes. Good. Let's take one more huge breath in and out. Start to free out this right leg, eventually dropping it all the way down. Good. Let's do the same on the left. Left knee gets hugged in first. Maybe a couple of ankle rolls if that feels nice. And straighten leg up to sky. Hamstring stretch. Grab on wherever you can reach. Another huge inhale. Nice exhale. Good. Hook left heel to back right. And then slide the shin in to open up the hip. It's that part of the fabric that's kind of by where the head is. That's where we're hooking it. Again, if you're confused, you can peek over at others. Good. Another huge breath flows in and out. Start to release the foot. Let's come all the way up to sit. Feet are dangling off the front. Good. We're going to head into our first inversion. So the idea first and foremost is get the thumbs hooked on the back side of the fabric so that this can help to push the fabric to be about where the back side of our pant line is. That tends to make it more comfortable. So when you've got it pushed down, lean back to lock it in place and then transfer it back on. So it's like a tabletop. Good. From this half spot, the last step is legs go wide as we tilt upside down. That wide legs means that we won't fall out. And then ankles wrap around the fabric. With the ankle wrap, you're safe to let go of hands and just let your spine relax. If you get into it and the fabric didn't feel like it's got to the right spot on your back, it's a little pushing on the wrong spot, come back out to readjust and come back in. You don't want to quite be sitting on it, so it's not quite to sitting bones. But yeah, it tends to be right on that back side of the hips. That's where I find it most comfortable. You can release hands if you feel comfortable. Allowing arms to be nice and heavy, just dangle down. And realize that you don't have to stay upside down as long as anybody else. Some people love to stay in this one for quite some time. You don't have to, especially if you're new to inversions. Just stay the amount that feels good, and then just grip gently back on by the hips and rise out. No pressure either way. It's staying for the amount that it feels good and useful, not only for the spine, but also for the breath, blood pressure. If you do come out, you can either rest, hooking elbows on the backside and leaning forward, or you can always take a break for 2 or 3 breaths and then come back in. It's up to you. As this floating child, can we just lean forward, shoulders getting closer to the knees. Good. Inversions are one of the big reasons people come to aerial. It's like, how often in our life do we just get to like let the spine drop, reversing all that gravity does on us all? So at about that point, maybe about half of us are out, half of us are still in. Those that want to be upside down a little bit longer, that's fine. We're just going to take a twist, those of us that have been out for a little while. So no pressure if you want to hang just a little bit longer. So those of us that are up, sit up nice and tall. Let's bunch up fabric that's closer to the back door side. Once you've got the fabric bunched up in both hands, your shoulder that's closer to the back wall should be your left arm, opens up to that back wall, or circles around the head. So how you can be as gentle or as strength-based in this twist as you want. Good, another huge breath in. And out. Let's release. Switch sides, bunch up to front door half. Should be the other arm, the right arm, that opens up to that back wall or circles around your head. So the slow, easy breaths flowing. Deep inhales. Nice exhales. Maybe one more cycle. Beautiful. Starting to release. We're going to bunch the fabric back up to whatever half points you into the center of the room. So points you to face toward me. So half of us will be left, half of us will be right. When you've got both hands on the half that points you that in the center of the room, lock your arms straight. That creates some space for your hip so that you can swing that leg up and over. You're straddling in the fabric. Good. Let's slip both heels all the way inside, lengthening legs out. We can even use arms on the part of the fabric that's toward the back to push the legs more open. So arms active, pushing open. Try to engage the core to sit up tall. Then let's start to slide the right hand on the right leg. Left hand circles up and over. So that nice side body reach. Like we're fixing the pipes through that area, heading toward abundance. And then straightening back up. Slide down the left leg, right hand up and over. Good, straightening back up. So we're gonna head up to stand inside. So the first thing we wanna do is make sure our toes are all the way in the fabric on each side. By the way, note if you ended up totally off the center, way more fabric to one side than the other, that just helps you know that you need to grab more or less fabric to help center you. But the toes are in the right spot. They're both right at the end. Toes are still inside the fabric. And then we're gonna come to a squat prep so that we can come up to stand. So slide the heels in close to the glutes, pop the knees open outside of the fabric. Gripping the fabric that's in front of you, we're gonna come to a toe squat. So pop the knees out, slide the heels and the feet right underneath you. You got it. Head should be free, so if you're leaning back into it, free your head out, and then slide the hands up even higher so that when we stand all the way up, we're inside. Good. Notice how you squeeze inner thighs together, and that helps your legs from separating. If your head's kind of caught, just kind of free out your shoulders and your head to the side, and you'll get there. Good. You should be facing deflector. You got it. Okay, so we're gonna take a splits toward mirror. So your shoulder that's closer to the mirror, that shoulder needs to come all the way around behind. Grip on. Start to face your hips to the mirror. And then you're gonna let that front leg go forward, the back leg go backward. Good. 2 or 3 breaths right here. Imagine this is opening us up for nothing more than just abundance. Huge inhale. Exhale, squeeze together. We're gonna reset to the second side, so get your shoulder back in. And then we're trying to face the back wall. So the shoulder that's closer to back wall comes around, grip on, face your hips to the back wall. And then on this side, front leg goes forward, back leg goes back. Good, open up for abundance again. These breaths in. And out. Another good cycle. Good, squeezing our thighs together. We're back up standing. Grip the fabric that's in front of you again, facing back forward. So from here, a left and a right grip. So you're grabbing each half of the fabric that's in front of you. Start to let the legs splay out wide. You're holding yourself up still with our grip strength. Like a side splits, you're lowering yourself down to a point that's the side splits opening. And then when you feel like your arms are tired and they're ready to gently set you down, try to still use your arm strength to slowly lower. Good work. When you get back down to lowering, touch your bottoms of feet together like a cobbler's pose. Take the hands directly in front of heart for a few breaths back to that abundance moment. It's like we're cupping our hands to receive another little trickling of abundance from the universe. Take one more huge breath in and out. And then drop your hands to your feet. Give the bottoms of your feet a gentle little massage. A couple of the things that we're going to do for the rest of class include giving ourselves massages with the fabric in various ways. The fabric is really nice because it can add tension, kind of like a roller, into some of our muscle groups. Know that if it ever gets a little too intense for a certain muscle group, you can always come out early. That's always fine. But this is kind of waking up the bottoms of our feet to receive abundance, even clear down there. Just take one more breath, kind of moving up and down the feet. Huge inhale. Nice exhale. And then slide the feet out of each end of the fabric. We're back down to dangling. Good. We're going to bunch the fabric up in front of us again. It's going to be your leg that's closer to the mirror. That leg, you're going to grab that ankle and place the ankle up in front of you. This gives that hip a couple of breaths just to open up. If it's pretty intense on the hip, arms locking out makes it a little easier. If you want to make it deeper, hug in. Maybe even hands in abundance shape. More breaths. If you released fabric at all, bunch it back up so that you can place arch of this foot onto the fabric. The knee swivels open, so point the toes in the same direction the knee is, and then slide the foot up the fabric. Again, same as before, arm helping to press into it makes it a little easier. Arms releasing any amount makes it a little deeper, so you choose. Some more beautiful breaths, let them flow in and out. Good. Let this leg be free back where it was. Second ankle comes up. Same as before, maybe you're hugging to pull it closer or locking your arm straight, a little easier for the hip. Slow, easy breaths. Easy does it. Huge inhale. Exhale, arch of the foot takes over the fabric, slide it up. Huge inhale. Nice exhale. When this foot frees out, free it to the mirror side. That way you're facing back forward. Your hips will be off center, so just shift left, right, left, right, left, right a couple of times until you're facing forward. There's two ways to come out to a standing place. Option number one, just grab onto the fabric, lift your hips up and out going forward. Option number two is the flip. So with this one, you bunch up the fabric really tightly from the outside. You slide your hands to about shoulder height, squeezing really tight. This one's all about the grip strength. And then from here, lifting the legs up, continue to flip all the way over. Your choice if that feels safe or if you're, no pressure if you don't want to. Good work. Good work. That's all good, whatever happened. Okay, so now hook your elbows. We're gonna lower down to knees. And then from this elbow hook, continue to lean forward. The hands, if they face palm up, they're gonna grab left and right sides of the fabric. You got it. So from here, if you're already feeling your shoulders open, this could be good enough. Hips over the knees like this. If you're wanting to go a little deeper, any amount sending the hips forward will make it deeper. So you get to choose. It's almost like a plank, and it opens up those shoulders. It could be just that it's a little high right now. That's okay. You could stay at the elbow hook too. That's fine. Good. Wherever you're at, take 2 more breaths. Nice inhale. Exhale. More inhale. And then exhale. You're going to tilt forward so that you can slowly free out your hands entirely and head to a child pose for a moment. Let those shoulders have a nice break. In child pose, you could bring your hands to that cupping shape like abundance in front of you. Just receive a gentle trickle down. More breath in, out. Good. Torso rises back up. Let's set our hips to one side, feet swing out in front of us. We're sitting behind the fabric. We're gonna work to laying down both heels, trying to get right onto the inside of the fabric, toes turning out. So yeah, use your hands, use whatever you need to help get it just right. When you have both feet all the way in, toes turning out to lock it in place, then lay them. Yeah, no worries if it's taking a moment. Take all the time you need. Use your other foot to kind of lift your hips up for a second, and that'll help you. So see what I'm doing? Like if you've got the other one, you can lift to hook it. That's it, you got it. Okay, so slide the hands in close to the glutes. Good. Lay all the way back. You got this, yep. Okay, so hands on the floor, close to glutes. We're gonna take a couple of bridge poses. So inhale, roll the hips up, and then lift up one vertebrae at a time. Exhale, return all the way back down, one vertebrae at a time. So that slow flow of breath. It's almost like we're checking out the pipe, seeing how that energy flows. Good. Take another 5. And down. 4. 3. 2. 1. Good. Coming up to elbows for a moment, scoot yourself a full foot forward of where you are. Once you're there, try to get the fabric up to about your calf area. The knees are trying to stay bent at a 90-degree angle to kind of lock it in place, and really let your hips wag left and right. So loosening up some of the tension in the low back. Feel how it's also massaging the calves. Good. And then from here, this is going to be a strengthening thing. So if you can't do it, don't feel bad. You can join us from a different angle, but you are going to slip all the way to the knees. You're doing a crunch to grab left and right sides of fabric, and then walk all the way up, slide the hips through. We're sitting. That's okay. Yeah, it's okay. If you don't end up here, just come from the outside and sit. That's fine too. Yep, you got it. Almost there. Yes, we made it. Okay. So from here, grab the right strand of your fabric. What you're gonna do is keep the left hand up high on that right strand, and we're sliding to a massage on the side of the hip. So right hip down, right hand to floor. Like a kind of like a star position. Good. Top leg floats a little higher. It's gonna do a couple of circles, about the size of a tennis ball. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, reverse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knees in, continue to circle down. We end up hanging in a hip hang. Keep the knees pointed down so you don't slip out. If the fabric didn't end up quite even, you can come up to a down dog and kind of shift it back, centered, and then come back to hanging. With hands on the floor, let the hips hang left and right a couple of times. Good. Knees pointing down, that helps you. Good. Beautiful. So we're gonna do a tricky little thing to come out. If you need to peek at me first, that's okay. We're gonna go back on the hip where we just were. So it's gonna be left hand grabbing the right side. As I keep that grip up high, I'm lifting my right leg, my top leg, sorry, my left leg up. And then I'm gonna come upright, standing. This will hook my right thigh. Oh, Okay, so I'll do it again really quick. I know. So I've got my left hand high, my left leg comes high, and then as I step it out through the side, I'm standing. Left hand high, the other leg. Yep. So that, the left leg, nope, the other left. Yep. And then as you're gonna turn around, you're dropping that left leg to the floor. That's it, grab up high, unwind. You're here, you should be facing the mirror with right thigh in. Right thigh in, face here. You got it. It's all good wherever you ended up. We'll have a second half to try again. So go ahead and take flat hands high, sink your hips forward. Warrior one. Good, feel how this one's the massage for thigh. It's like we're progressively working all around this leg. Good. Okay, inner thighs squeeze together. Step the right foot into the fabric. Slide hands up high. When we rise up, try to use arm and core strength so that we're not swinging too crazy. The left foot winds around that left pole from the back. Good. And then left shoulder comes forward. Good. Once you got that left shoulder through, you can bring hands safely to heart. Maybe even slip the foot higher like a tree pose. This one's a massage for the bottom of that right foot. Feel so many areas of our body coming alive with these different massages. Take one more huge inhale. Exhale. Both hands grab on, so right hand for safety, and then left grabs as soon as it can, come back behind. We're gonna switch to the other side tree, so left foot in. Right foot has to come behind and then wind around that right pole. And then right shoulder's the funky one that has to go forward and through. Good, as soon as it's through, the foot can slip up higher. It's to heart. Work, slow, easy breaths. One more huge inhale. Exhale. Grip onto each side, left and right. Nice and safe. Drop the right foot to the floor. This left leg is straightening out in front of us. Nice high grip. Sink your weight forward, splits. Good, weight comes back. Keep that right foot inside the fabric, but you're going to do a 180. So left hand grabs right strand for safety. The 180, our toes start to turn. The knee flips down, hook the ankle. Good. Grip over each shoulder behind us. A little hop back. So we're under plumb line, good. Free out your armpits. That way the elbows can point forward. Beautiful. Dancer's pose, lean forward and then kick the foot into the fabric. Got it. Inhale. Nice exhale to rise. Gonna drop hands all the way to the floor. From here, this is going to be a strengthening option. Step the right foot into the fabric. You're going to go back and forth between plank and then piking hips up above our shoulders. Yep. You choose how many your body can do. When you're ready to come down, the right knee comes down into pigeon pose. Take however many your body can do. Some might be 5 or 10, some might be 2 or 3, and that's okay. It should be right knee down when you come down. No rush though. And sink your hips back, drop the elbows like a nice chance to be in a pigeon pose. More breaths. And a huge inhale. Exhale. Keep your foot hooked in the fabric as we flip around to lay on our back where we started for the second side. Both feet in. Let those hips swing for a moment, left and right. Good. Slide the hands in close to the hips. Back to stillness. Inhale, hips lift up. Exhale, hips lower down. Let's take another 5. 4. 3. 2. Last one. Good. Come up to your elbows for a moment so you can scoot yourself another foot forward with your hips. Once you're there, slide the fabric to your calves, another calf massage. Try to keep your feet, your knees flexed at a 90-degree angle, but keep the legs locked here. And just let your hips swing wild left and right. Just feels good for that low back. Well, it takes a little bit of leg strength just to stay here. Good. Back to stillness. Continue to slip to your knees. And this one's that little challenge, like a crunch to come up to sit. So grab up high left and right. Walk the hands up as you slip the legs through. It takes us up to sit. Good. This one's like a massage for the back side of our legs, that hamstring. Good. So we're all sitting. Okay, so first, the side plank. Grab on the left strand. The right hand is really high. Rock onto the side of that left hip until you can drop the left hand down. Like a side plank facing the mat long ways. Good. Top leg lifts up a little bit so we can do 5 tennis ball circles. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knees. Slide the knees to point down, changing to a hip wing. If it didn't quite work, drop the toes for a moment, reset the fabric, and get it right across hip bones. You can always be in down dog instead if this massage is a little too intense. Wherever we're at, let's give it about 3 more breaths. Knees pointing down, we'll make sure this is the box. Good. Okay, so if you need to watch again for the second side, that's fine. The idea is coming back to that side plank where we were, so the legs straighten out, right hand goes up high. I'm flipping enough on that hip that I can lift the right leg up. Think of it like wild thing pose where it kind of bends behind you and just drops to the floor. I'm grabbing left and right to come up high. So you have to keep the other leg long, the left leg long. Keep it down so it doesn't slip off your hip. Yep. Not winding around though. So come behind your back. Yeah. So lift. That's okay. left thigh in facing forward. However you get there. Good. Other days to play with it. Hands up high. Warrior one. Notice how nice it was to even be on the side of the hip, that IT band massage. And now into the hamstrings. One more good inhale. Exhale. Weight comes back. Let's step this foot into the fabric. We'll do a brief tree pose. So slide hands up. When we're standing inside, right leg winds around the right pole, right shoulder comes through. It's all feeling a little more comfortable now. Good. That's it. Hands at the heart when you're there. Maybe the foot slides higher. More breaths. Left hand for safety, right hand grabs as soon as it can. Right foot steps into fabric. Left leg comes behind to wind around. Good, left shoulder through. Maybe the foot goes higher before hands at heart. Into that foot massage. Even hands in abundant shape, just reminding ourselves again. Even though things seem painful sometimes in life, what if that's the best destination that the universe could give us? More inhale. Exhale, right hand for safety. Left hand to grip. Gently lower left foot to ground. Right foot straightens out in front of us. Nice and high, splits forward. Good. Slow and easy does it. Long breaths. A good inhale. Exhale. Weight comes back. This one's that 180-degree turn, so right hand grips to left strand for safety. Remember that you have to catch the toes in the fabric as you turn around. And then reset your grip. Each hand is a thumbs down grip over your shoulders. A little hop back will usually help you feel more balanced. Good. Dancer's pose. So lean forward and then kick the foot into the fabric. Breathe the lift. Inhale. Exhale. Rising up. Wait till you have your balance before you drop hands to the floor. Good. We're going to try for another of the sets of those pikes that we did. So coming to plank, pike the hips up and down. If you feel like you can hold the pike steadily enough that you want to try and lift one foot up to the sky, you can try for it. The hands need to be in kind of just the right spot, so you might have to step slightly forward or back. Okay. Going as much as the core feels good until you're ready to drop left. Two more breaths. Squeeze the knee out, take a child's pose. These can be wide, these can be narrow, arms can be forward, arms can be backward. Just choose your favorite shape, maybe hands facing upward in abundance. Walk our hands off the mat to the left. With that huge side body stretch. Walk the mat to the right. To the center, 2 more breaths, just reminding the spine of that middle channel, the one that can receive those blessings. Receive the abundance. Take a huge breath in, out. Beautiful. We're gonna head up all the way up to standing. Get there the way that you like. Some might just come up, some might go through down dog and then rise up. Good. And we'll wrap up with a nice vampire pose. So this is an inversion, but people that might feel like if I do one more inversion, I'm gonna be dizzy and throw up or whatever, you can just go on the ground and just do some last stretches for yourself, that's fine. But otherwise, come up to the mirror side, the top of the mat, find the front of the fabric, wave it left and right, nothing's doubling over. Just like before, we're heading in, but for vampire, you head just a little bit further back. So instead of the 5 or 6 grips, you're doing more like maybe 7 or 8. Same steps where you head under the plumb line, slide it under the glutes. If you know vampire, you can just go into it, that's fine. If this is your first vampire, feel free to sit up in a way that you can see me until you're ready to go into it. So with vampire, I lay back, but I just want enough fabric to cover my shoulders safely because this is like a shoulder scan. So when I've got enough to cover my fabric, my shoulders, I take all the excess to my legs by stepping in closer, scooting it out. Once I've got just that perfect amount to completely cover shoulders, not too much excess for my neck, what I do is grip up high left and right, just grabbing that back into the fabric. Hike the feet up. It's okay if feet are in the fabric or out, doesn't matter. But then that little notch after your heel ends, you're pushing that into the fabric right above where your hands are. So by pushing into the inside of the fabric, that helps us rise up. Yeah. I'll be out to help anybody that needs it. So this is essentially the last pose of the day. Some of us might want to be here for a while, maybe 3, 4, 5 minutes. It's all good. When you eventually feel satisfied, you're welcome to drop the hips back down and head to your Shavasana. So just laying inside the fabric again. If ever you even feel like I want to take a laying on the floor Shavasana too, that's also fine. So no pressure, no rush. Those that want to be playing with vampire for several minutes, you're welcome to do so. Just play with it as long as your body needs it. Keep on relaxing, keep on receiving. Into deepen inhales. Exhales. Introduce little movements back to fingers and toes. Ankles and wrists. Stretching out in a way that feels good. Sometimes I'll extend the arms to the back wall and let the shoulders wiggle right and left a few times. Sometimes I'll do a fetal position. So I keep my body long, but I roll onto one hip. So one hip stacks on top of the other. And from there, I can curl in like a tight little ball and arc my spine back. I might do that 3 or 4 times on one side. Eventually switching 3 or 4 times the other side to help balance out the spine. Eventually we'll come up to a comfortable seated place. Here, joining hands together either in prayer position at the heart or in that abundant shape one more time. We remind ourselves of that trickle of abundance flowing around us all the time. Kind of like in this class, that comes in the form of little massages that increase our circulation and help the muscles not be so tight. Sometimes it comes in the form of the people around us. And sometimes it just comes in the form of trust and hope that things will continue to get better and improve. So with this trickle of abundance, with this hope and trust in the future, this to help lead us on, let's wrap up the time we shared together with a sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light, happiness, and peace. Namaste.